I've already mentioned this a few times on Twitter, on a few of my videos, but for those of you that have missed it, the plan for Football Manager 2019 is the return of Regen Rovers. I'm 99% certain that I'm going to make another Regen Rovers series. It's not 100% though, there's the 1% in me that's wavering slightly, and this video is all about getting feedback from you guys. Oh, by the way, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I know there's lots of people that have subscribed to me since this series ended over a year ago now. This is the series I'm most proud of creating on YouTube, Regen Rovers on FM17. I'll put a link to the series in the description below. Maybe you can binge watch it instead of watching Netflix or something, or if you're at school and on your summer holidays at the moment, maybe you can watch this over the summer holidays. But there's a lot of episodes, 140 episodes of this, plus a few extra videos in this. There's actually more than 140 videos. But yeah, it's the series I'm most proud of. And if you want to watch my FM19 series, and maybe this is the place to start. But like I said, I'm not 100%. I know I've said in the past, and I always say to this people, one of my top tips for people wanting to make YouTube content is make what you want to make. If you don't enjoy it, then no one else will. And hopefully if you're enjoying creating the content and making videos and all of that jazz, then people will enjoy watching them. However, when you've established yourself a bit, you can't just rely on that. I can't just do what I want to do. Because if you guys aren't enjoying it, then no one's going to watch it. I'd love feedback on this in the comment section below, but also I've put a link to a survey in the description below. That's the key point today. Please, please, please complete that survey, whether you watched Regen Rovers or not. I do want to talk about other FM19 plans in this video though, and that's why I've titled it that way. So Football Manager 2019, we don't know when it's going to be released. We don't know anything about it so far. Nothing's been teased at the time of recording this anyway. Nothing has been teased. There's not been any trailers whatsoever, and that's usually the way it is. I've had a few people ask me when it's being released already, but I don't know. No one knows. They don't even know half the time. It's usually the start of November, so it's quite a few months away still. Lots of time to prep for this Regen Rovers series. So please don't ask me when it's coming out, because I don't know. But I will reveal news as and when on Twitter, on my Twitter account, Golden FM. This is my Regen Rovers Twitter account. Maybe go and follow that as well if you're pumped for FM19. But yeah, follow me on Golden FM for any news and stuff about my channel. But also I'll probably release a few videos when news comes out. But anyway, what was I going to say? This is going to be a rambly video. I do apologise. You know what I'm like sometimes. I need water. Do you like my dinosaur cup? It's quite fun. My wife bought that for me. There's Soccersaurus. That's relatable, isn't it? That's refreshing. I've literally forgotten. No, I haven't. I haven't forgotten what I was going to say. There was a point to this. I think I've forgotten. I'm going to remember it in a second. Ah, yes, I've remembered. I was going to talk about my FM19 plans. Football Manager 2019. I can't believe it's got to Football Manager 2019 now. It's been around so many years. I've been playing since, well, Championship Manager 9900. So this is 20 years for me. I've not actually been playing 20 years. I think it was probably 2000 or 2001 that I started playing when I was 9 or 10. But yeah, it's amazing that we've got to this point. I don't know what improvements there's going to be. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, but I hope there's going to be some nice improvements. One of which, I hope they bloody improve the regen faces, because they were dreadful on FM18. Absolutely dreadful. So they'd better improve them, especially as Regen Rovers, you know, a key part of it is getting to know the players and having a nice face for the regens. It just adds that level, that immersive level. You can just get involved in it a bit better. But anyway, plans for FM19. So the beta usually comes out 2 weeks before the full release. On that, I'm going to probably manage West Ham, the team that I love. Basically because they've signed some exciting players this summer, and I want to return to them and manage them for probably a couple seasons or so. When the full game comes out, the plan at the moment is to go on the editor and create Regen Rovers. I use the old school editor rather than the Create a Club method this time round, because that was a little bit problematic. I wasn't able to change the logo or anything like that. They might have changed that though, so maybe I might go for that. We'll see. But at the moment, the plan is to use the proper editor, and I'll need your help with that so I don't make the team too overpowered or too underpowered. Like I said, there is a survey to fill in to help me with this. There's a link in the description below. I might add a couple more questions to this. I've not 100% decided, but please, if you can, then answer this. There's a couple of questions that are really important that I've made that you have to answer. So did you watch any of my FM17 Regen Rovers series? And also another one, do you want me to make a new Regen Rovers series on FM19? So those are the two questions you have to answer. The others are all optional, but it'd be great if you can answer them. It's quite short. I've made it short. I might do another survey at some point. There's going to be a couple more videos if this does go ahead before anything happens, before the actual series starts. Firstly, Patreon. I want that to be a part of this series. I think there's scope for this. I'm going to be honest with you now. I'm starting to think, I mean, after the whole World Cup thing, experiments were massive for me during the World Cup, and it was my best ever month or so on YouTube in regards to views, in regards to ad revenue, etc., that sort of thing. And it got me thinking, if I could do this and push on even more of this and have some sort of other income like Patreon, something else, then possibly sometime in the future, this could be a full-time thing for me. At the moment, those of you that don't know, I work from home, so I'm able to do YouTube stuff in the morning, at lunchtime, after I finish work. If I was working in an office, this wouldn't be possible. The way I upload would not be possible with my lifestyle. But because I work from home, it's possible. However, if I was to make it completely full-time, that would be massive. That would be incredible. I know there's a few guys in the Football Manager scene that do that now, and that's very impressive. But I've not got to that level in regards to views and that sort of thing. And with my life, you know, my wife and I, we bought a house last year, so we have to pay the mortgage. There's bills. There's all of that stuff. You know, I know my job I rely on. However, this is great. This is a little bit of extra pocket money at the moment that is growing and has grown over the years, but it's not got to that level. However, with Patreon, it could be possible, and obviously there'd be lots of incentives. For example, one thing I thought of is you could have a regen named after yourself. So a young player that comes through the system, so through our youth academy, it would only be youth academy players, and it would be before you even see the name. So it's not like you'd see me change the name and you'd get attached to that player before I change the name. It would be before you even saw the player. So with the youth intake, I would change the name, etc. There's so much scope for that. There's a real possibility. I know a lot of people inquired about Regen Rovers shirts. This one was sent to me kindly by someone who just got this specially made for me. He knew someone that worked for a sports manufacturing company. He made this shirt. It's got Jack Young on the back. I've shown pictures before. Can you see it? Jack Young. Oh, I've just smashed my microphone. But yeah, this was specially made. However, some of you may have watched Dr. Benji's Thames series, and he's managed to get loads of shirts made by a company called Tribefire. Now, I followed them on Twitter. They followed me back. I will try and I'm going to speak to them and see if it's a possibility. I don't know if I'm big enough to do that. However, if we got shirts right at the start of the series, there might be lots of you interested in buying one. We'll see. Let me know. That's a question, so let me know. If there's any extra thoughts other than the survey that you want me to let me know about Regen Rovers, stick them in the comment section below. For those of you that are only subscribed to me for experiments, you probably haven't got to this point in the video because I'm not talking about them, but there will be experiments on FM19. The plan at the moment, like I said, West Ham series for a couple of weeks whilst the beta's out, then Regen Rovers will be my main Let's Play, and I will do experiments alongside this, and probably not much else for the entirety of FM19. Like I said, I'm 99% sure that's going to be the plan, but if there's feedback saying no, you don't want it, there might not be any of you, well, many of you that want this anymore, because it could have been replaced by Dr. Benji's Thames series, for example. I know this is different. I only use regens in this, which is the fake players that are created by Football Manager. I don't use any real players. I don't sign any real players, even staff, etc. Everything was regens from the start. We had loads of 16-year-olds. It was a right old challenge, and that was just fun. I couldn't sign 28-year-olds that were established players at the National League South level. I had to sign 16-year-old regens that had never kicked the ball for, yeah, well, they'd kicked a ball in their life, but they'd never kicked a ball at first team level in their life. And that was a real challenge. However, Dr. Benji's Thames series has been fabulous. He's done incredibly well from it, of course. And it's a fictional team. And I guess people will have maybe moved over to that, and if you haven't, now you're probably going to go and check it out and not come back here ever again. But perhaps that's kind of replaced it. I know a lot of people missed Regen Rovers at the start of FM18 and wanted me to make it again. The reason why I didn't want to do it this year, firstly I wanted to try different things. Secondly, I thought everyone would compare it to the first series. I wanted to leave it a year or so before returning to this, so you're not constantly comparing it to the first series. I'm treating the first series, although it's the series I'm most proud of on YouTube, I'm treating it as a pilot, almost a practice. I'm thinking this is just practice for the future, and I want the next series to be even better. I know what was good on this series, I know what was bad. I'll be honest, I sound a bit cocky, but there wasn't a huge amount bad with this, which is why I'm really proud of it. But there were a few things that didn't quite work out. I mean, I burned myself out towards the end of the series, and it stopped because I bought a house, we moved house. It was a chaotic few months, and I knew I just couldn't do this at the same time. That's why it finished. I've already explained that in the last video that I released just before FM18 came out. What do you guys think? Do you want another series? Answer the survey, let me know in the comment section below. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I suppose the key thing I was thinking about over the last few months, this has been in the pipeline since February, I kind of decided in February this will be a thing, but was whether it should be once again in England or elsewhere. And I'm 90% sure that it should be in England again, because I said the first series was a pilot. I want to set it in England again. Maybe in the future it would be abroad, but I kind of feel like there's more scope for England. I know it well, I know the leagues well, I know England well. There's potential if I was to set the club somewhere locally to where I live now, where I could film on location little bits for intros and that sort of thing. That's another thing. Do I switch it from Reigate? That is a question on the survey. It wasn't really an intrinsic part to the series that it was set in Reigate in Surrey. It was mentioned quite a few times, of course, but it wasn't really important. So I'm thinking it doesn't really matter where I set it. Perhaps it should be a place that begins with R for alliteration reasons, which is why I chose Reigate, which is why also people have suggested perhaps Regensburg in Germany would be great. But unless I get an extra database and have the lower levels, then there's not so many divisions in Germany compared to England on the vanilla game. And I'm slightly wary of doing really low down. Firstly, because it can drag on a bit. I know people will probably want me to get promoted as soon as possible. People loved the fact that it did take a while to get up the leagues, but some people, want things to speed through a bit quicker. And there can be problems with these lower league databases. I don't want to get 10 seasons into the save and realise the League Cup has broken, or I can't sign any players because something's messed up with it. Whereas if I use the standard game, that hopefully won't be an issue. But yeah, that's the key point. I'm kind of 90% sure I'm going to set it in England again, and I'm tempted to set it somewhere locally to me. Those of you that have been around a while know I'm originally from Chelmsford in Essex, but now I live down in Hampshire, live in the Eastleigh area. I was thinking somewhere like Romsey, for those of you that know the area, which is near Southampton, for all the connection of art, like alliteration reasons. Or I could just do it in Eastleigh, or I could do it in Chelmsford, or just somewhere that means something to me. It doesn't really matter that it begins with R. Just thinking out loud here. So yeah, that's my plans for FM19. I hope you're looking forward to it regardless, but the key point for today's video, please answer the survey. Please leave any other feedback, any ideas in the comment section below. You're welcome to suggest anything, Regen Rovers wise. Don't say, oh, don't do Regen Rovers, manage this random club in Saudi Arabia. Because everyone wants me to manage the club they support. I get that. But there has to be a reason for me managing a team. You have to come up with a good reason. You can't just say, it's my favourite club, so manage them. I get that all the time. And I know you really want me to manage the club you love. But there has to be something about it that makes everyone else want to watch it as well. So Regen Rovers, 99% sure it's going to happen, unless you guys all say nah, or there's loads of you that just don't exist anymore that watched my FM17 series. Either you've just unsubscribed because this ended and now you're not watching this video, and blah 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 blah, and I've run out of words, or you just don't want this anymore because other series from other people on other channels are better, or have replaced your need for this. So I get that, but hopefully there's still loads of you that would love this, and hopefully there's loads of new people that would love this. And if you are new, like I said, please go and check out the original series. You don't have to watch every video, but you might want to watch sort of key points. Usually you can gauge from the title or the thumbnail whether we've been promoted or not. But obviously we did get to the Premier League, spoilers, but we didn't complete everything I wanted to. We didn't win the Champions League, we didn't win the Premier League. We did win a cup, but you know, it ended relatively well, but it could have been better. And that's why I'm saying this is a pilot. The next series will be bigger and better. There's nothing major in my life that will be happening over the next year, I hope, that will get in the way. You know, hopefully my health is fine, everyone in my family's health is fine, let's hope so. Hopefully my house doesn't fall down. You know, there's things that could happen, but at this moment in time, the next year should be free for me to do a really good long save, and that is the plan. I've said that word a lot today. Plan. You know, it's good to plan. I think I'm not always been a planner. I remember at GCSEs, A levels, you know, you were told to plan your answers before, you know, the long essay answers, and I'd just dive in there, just get on with it. I didn't always plan, but now I want to plan. I've got a big old Word document of ideas. Hopefully there's nothing, you know, I've shown you now. I mean, most of them are questions, to be honest. Is there anything on here I shouldn't show you? I don't think so. I've got another Word document. I've got plans. I've got plans this time, which is great. But we'll end it there. I have rambled, as always. There will be, if you do want Regen Rovers, there will be another video released probably at the end of August or start of September, talking about Patreon and sort of other things. I need so much. I mean, I'm not ending this now. Sorry. You know, I need to decide whether that is a question as well. Whether I want to keep the same logo for the first season or change it. The same colours. Are we going with green or different types of green? This type of green, bright green, different green, or perhaps a different colour entirely. Introduction music for the series. Things like, do I have the fan corner again? Do we have Paul's Big Day Out? Do we have all of that? Just, there's so much to decide upon, and it's exciting, but it's also slightly worrying because I need to try and plan this at the same time as doing content before FM19 is released. But yeah, that's all part of the fun of being a YouTuber. Until next time, enjoy Football Manager, enjoy the rest of your day. See you very soon. Come on, you younglings.